Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking on lesson 46. I'm in the second edition of Math 8-7. We are going to be on page 279. And what we're going to be doing is learning more about unit price and unit rate. For those of you who were in my class last year, I remember we talked quite a bit about these because this is actually a good real world skill to have. So for those of you who are in my class, you need to be taking notes as we go along here. So example number 1, we are going to be doing, what is the unit price of a 24-ounce box of cereal? So it's 24-ounce box of cereal that costs $3.60. So what we're wanting to find is the cost per ounce, right? So we take $3.60 over 24 ounces. And what I want is to find per 1 ounce. I want to figure out what the dollar amount is per 1 ounce. Well, so in order to do that, we're gonna have to do division, okay? So I'm gonna scooch this over. There we go. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna take $3.60 and I'm gonna divide that by 24, okay? Now, take this decimal here, boost it up to here. 24 does not go into 3, but it does go into 36 one time. 1 times 24 gives me 24. If I subtract that, I get 12. Bring down a 0. 24 goes into 120. I'm so panicking that I'm going to make a mistake. I'm like all worried that I'm going to make a mistake because you guys are costing me a fortune every time I make a mistake. It's costing me a fortune. Okay, so here's what I was thinking. Half of 24 is 12 with a 0, so half. So if I multiplied this by 10, it would be 240. If I cut it in half, I'd get 120. So that's 5, right? So 5 times 240 gives me 120 without a remainder. So this is 0.15, right? $0.15. That's 15 cents, right? So this is 15 cents per, remember per means division, 1 ounce. Per 1 ounce. All right, so for example 2. What is the unit price for a 36-ounce box of cereal that is $4.50? So it's $4.50 per box, and there are 36 ounces in it. Okay, so we want to figure out what it is per 1 ounce, right? So we're going to need to divide this by 36. That gives us 1. Divide this by 36, and it'll give us this. So let's do some math here. 36, 4. 50. We're going to bring this decimal up. 36 does not go into 4, but 36 does go into 45 one time. 1 times 36. Okay, when we subtract, we bring down, we get 4 and 5 is 9. Bring down a 0. 36 goes into 90. How about, so let's just do some side work here. 36 times 2 is 72. 36 times 3 is 108. 108. So we know it's going to go to 90. We're going to do 2 times. 2 times 36 gives me 72. When we subtract, we make that an 8. That's a 10. Okay, so that's 8 and 1. Now we're going to keep bringing down a 0. 180. Well, let's try 36 times 4 and see what we get there. 144, and then 36 times 5 gives me 180. So 36 times 5 is 180. So we're going to put a 5 over here. It's 180 with no remaining. So when we come back up here, that's 0.125. So this is kind of weird because we're talking about change, right? So it's 12 cents and a half. So it's 12 and a half cents. Right? So 0.125. This is where it is helpful though when we're finding our unit rate, because if you get something that is like 12 and 12 and then an extra 2, right? Well, we would know that this one would be cheaper than this one. So, and when we're talking lots and lots of ounces, lots and lots of units, then it matters. Those little tiny ones matter. So this is important that we keep it that way. So it's going to be 12 and a half cents per ounce. All right, so let's talk about rates. For our next one, example number 3, Hans pedaled 84 kilometers in 4 hours. What was his average speed? So 84, let's see if I can write this. 84 kilometers and if you can substitute the word per in, that's helpful. So per 4 hours, okay? We want to know what he did per 1 hour. 1 hour. To go from 4 to 1, I would have to divide by 4, right? And if we do it on the bottom, we're going to do it on the top. So 84 divided by 4, 4 goes into 8 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8, right? And then that's 0, bring down a 4. 4 goes into 4 1 time. So 21 kilometers per 1 hour was his average rate. Let's try example 4. Dan rode his motorcycle on an interstate trip. He traveled 243 miles on 4.5 gallons of gas. Dan's motorcycle averaged how many gallons per trip? So we want to go to 1 gallon. Divide this by 4.5. So basically we're taking this and dividing it by that, okay? So we do 243 divided by 4.5. Now remember, we can't have a decimal out here, so we're gonna go like that. And we'll take this decimal, move it over. So what we have is 45, and then under the table we have 2,430 with a decimal here and decimal here. All right, let's do a little bit of side work with that 45, I'm sorry. So 45 times 2 is 90, and then 45 times 3 is 135. 45 times 4 gives me 180. 45 times 5 gives me 225. All right, so looking, and then let's just do 45 times 6 gives me 270. So times 6 equals 270. So I do a little side work here just so that it's easier. I don't have to sit here and play a guessing game, right? So 45 can't go into 2 or 24, right? So just put a little X there so that we, we're keeping things nice and lined up. 45 does go into 243 though, 5 times. 5 times 45 is 225. So we're going to subtract. When we do that, make that a 3, make this a 13. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, so that's 18, right? And when we subtract, we also bring down. 45 goes into 180 4 times. So 4 times that is 180. We have no remainders. So we come back up here and we go, okay, 54 miles. So Dan rode, I'm going to erase this, but on your paper you'll write, we go back and we look at the question. It says, Dan's motorcycle averaged how many miles per gallon? Dan's motorcycle averaged 54 miles per 1 gallon. Nope, that's gallon. I spelled it like balloon. Gallon, like that. Okay, remember, complete sentences for word problems. Okay, so let's look at these other ones. We've got some sales tax and some conversions. For example, number 5, we have for 5% service fee, a merchant agreed to exchange $20 for, so $20 for 2,400 yen, or vice versa, 2,400 yen for $20. Disregarding the fee, write 2 reduced rates for the stated exchange rate. So, because then the other one that they said was 2,400 yen into $20. So we're going to ignore the exchange rate fee. We're going to say, okay, for $20, we get 2,400 yen, but we're treating this like a fraction and we need to reduce it, right? So a little bit of side work here so I don't mess up my original one. 2400. Lob these off, right? Now divide this by 2, divide this by 2. I get 1 over 120. So we come back up here and we say, okay, for $1, you get 120 yen. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Show your work though, make sure you're showing that. Now the other exchange rate is, if we had 2,400 yen for $20. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. This should have been written, my $1. So I found it per US dollar. Now I need to find it per yen. So 2,400 yen over $20. So really, when I have the one should be on the bottom. So I actually wrote this wrong. If I rewrite it, it would be 2,400 yen. I think I just erased what I was going to do. Over 20 equals 120 yen over $1. Now, do you see how the one is on the bottom? Okay. So with that said, I need to clear this off anyway. So now what we're going to do is we want to find it $20 per 2,400 yen. What I need to do is get this bottom one to equal 1. So I'm going to divide by 2,400, divide by 2,400 equals. So 1 yen is 20 divided by 2,400, right? Let's lob these off and I end up with 1 over 120. So it's 1 and 120th of $1. So 1 out of 120th dollars. Okay, it's just written as a fraction. That's probably the easiest way to do that. Let's see. So sales tax. Let's look at example number 6. So make sure your unit rate, the 1 is on the bottom. I messed up on that first one. So example 6 here is, let me grab a different marker. Okay, to find the amount of sales tax on a purchase, we're going to multiply. A bicycle is on sale for $119.95. The tax rate is 6%. What is the tax on the bicycle and what is the total tax? So guys, I think the easiest way to do this is when we're dealing with percent problems, and 6 is a percent, we're going to do, make sure to note this in your notes, part over whole equals percent over 100. Percent over 100. So the whole cost of the bicycle is 119.95. So that's the whole cost. This 100 is always there. So when you have a percent problem, you do your setup. This is what your setup should look like. When you have fraction equals fraction, you have $100 or 100%. I mean, 119.95 is our whole amount of our bicycle total. We want to find out what the sales tax is. So that's 6% of it. And we're going to put an X here. So the way that we find this is we cross multiply this times this, 100x equals this times this. And quite honestly, I'm okay if you round to 120, but let's do it. Like I won't give you one like this on a test without a calculator. So if we multiply those two things, I get 719.70. Okay, 719. So now to get that x by itself, we're currently multiplying. The opposite of multiply is divide. Divide that by 100, divide that by 100. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. Dividing by 100 is just moving the decimal over 1, 2 spots. So 1, 2. So x equals $7.19. Well, we can't really, when we're dealing with percentages, or I'm sorry, not percentages, when we're dealing with dollars and cents, this 7 needs to round that guy up. So it's not $17, not $7.19. We're going to say x equals $7.20. All right. So for A, the tax is $7.20. Okay. For B, it says, what is the total price including tax? Well, we're going to take that 119.95 and we're going to add 7.20 to it. So we get 5, 9, and 2. That gives us 11. So it's going to give us 17. Carry the 1, 127 and 15. So the total cost with tax is $127.15. $127.15. All right, guys. So the example for 7. Find the total price. So example 7. Find the total price, including tax, of an $18.95 book, a $1.89 pen, and a $2.29 pad of paper. So what we have to do is add all those guys up. 18.95 and 1.89 and 2.29. We're going to add all these guys up. So 9 and 9 is 18 plus 5. I don't know why I just grabbed my calculator for that. Whatever. All right, so 9 and 8 is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And notice I'm lining up all my decimals, right? So this is 10, 11, 12, 13. And carry the 1, so that's 2. So the total here is $23.13, okay? That is our total. Now, when dealing with sales tax, again, we want to do part over whole equals percent over 100. So the whole amount is this. So we're going to do 23.13 equals. And the sales tax is 5% over 100, okay? We're going to put an X here because that's going to tell us our sales tax amount. So we're going to multiply those two things. 100x equals 23.13 times 5 gives me 115.65. Okay. Divide this by 100. Divide this by 100. X equals. This moves over 1, 2 spots. So we're going to go 1, 2. So 1.1565. Well, we're dealing with dollars, right? So we can, and cents. So we have to round. So we're going to look at this guy. This rounds this guy up. So X is going to equal $1.16. So that's the tax, right? So if we add our tax to this, $1.16, that's going to be 9, 2, bring down your decimal, and so 20, so your tax amount is $1.16, your total amount is $24.29. Okay, so with that said, there are a bunch of practice problems on page 282. I want to see those practice problems at the top of your paper. Give me just 1 second. I'll pause and bring it back. All right, you guys. So this has already gone on for 15 minutes because this was a really lengthy discussion. So what I want you to do is do those practice problems at the top of your homework. Then what you're going to do is, here are the answers to those practice problems. I need to see your work. So don't just write down the answers. I need to actually see the work. But if you have questions on ones that you got wrong, make sure to let me know. Circle that, and if you have questions, we can go over that in class. Okay, thanks guys, and we'll see you in class.